How are you?
Good, good.
Are you excited? 11
Very,
years?
very.
11
years. And I told you a lot about it at the press conference. But I am very excited about this year because we've got so much going on, so much going on. And we've made contact with 3 huge educational institutions. We're partnering with Whistling Woods. We've got showing their award-winning films. We're partnering with NYU. They're making 1-minute cell phone films, as well as doing our post-screening discussions. And we're also partnering with the New York Film Academy, who's giving scholarship to our emerging filmmakers. And then we've got all these wonderful films in Bengali, Marathi, Malayalam, Hindi, English.
I'm so
Phenomenal.
excited. I'm so happy. Congratulations.
Thank you, and you should come.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. You know, this is a Sabyasachi sari that was given to me to wear by Piyaka Ghar. They said, wear it on the carpet. I said, okay. But I'm going to donate it to the IAAC because this has been a very challenging year for us. So I'm going to donate this, and if anyone wants to buy it, tax-deductible money goes to the IAAC.
You hear that? If anyone wants to buy the sari, it's tax deductible. Get in touch with.
Arun.
And where can we get you in touch?
Arun, that's AROON, at IAAC.
And if anyone out there who's a filmmaker who's interested in getting in touch with you, how can they contact you?
Same website, www.iaac.us, or email me. I answer every email.
And also, I have another question for you. If there's someone out there who's interested, do you have any advice for them on their path to creating a film?
I think people have to be true to themselves. They just have to have passion and be true to themselves. And each one's got a different truism, so who knows?
Personal question.
Can
Is
I
that
ask
okay?
you-
I hear you have background in journalism. Is that true?
Many different things. I have worked with the Observer newspaper. I was an actress. I have been a filmmaker. I have done all sorts of things. But that's why I can run this, because I know what they do.
Exactly. Ashwin, and what do you do for this festival?
Well, I coordinate all the volunteers that help run the festival, and I also work on sponsorship to raise money for our festival each year.
Quite a challenge, right?
Yeah, especially in 2011. Yes, it's a big challenge, but you know we're doing what we can.
Congratulations. Can you tell people when and how and what, where they can go for the event, things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. We have, obviously the opening night is here at the Paris, and we have most of our screenings at the Tribeca Cinemas, which is obviously in Tribeca downtown. And it's an exciting event, and I think we're showing a lot of good films, and hope to see a good crowd at all these events.
Great. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Vikas Khanna.
Okay, how are you?
Very good, how are you?
I'm so excited to talk to you. Tell me a little bit more about the film that you did.
Today they are premiering a film called Holy Kitchens, which is actually a part of series. So this one is the second of the series called Karma to Nirvana. It's following the life of Lord Krishna and understanding the spirituality of food and the food which connects us. It's a very major subject. The last year we released the movie on Sikhism, understanding why langars was started, historically the significance and the continuation of the legacy. And this year, same thing of Hinduism, and next year is the movie on Islam, which is on a much bigger scale, much bigger volume of understanding Ramadan.
Okay, and what inspired you to do the movie on Lord Krishna in terms of eating and in the kitchen? What was the inspiration for wanting to do this?
My whole life has been spent in the kitchen. I'm a chef in New York, just run restaurants 24 hours. And understanding that when you visit India, the food has such a spiritual and sacred power that you go to anybody's house. Person could be very poor, but they will still serve you something. Or they'll still serve you a glass of water. It's the way that we treat our guest as a god, which gave us the concept of where it must have started. So we did all the research in the Bhagavad Gitas and the Vedas, and it all boiled down to simplicity of Krishna's life. That everything was so much based on sharing of food and taking care of each other is the most important responsibility as a civilization, as human beings.
And how do you feel at this time, being a humanitarian as I am, how do you feel at this time? Do you feel we need to have more productions and films talking about sharing wisdom in terms of helping people? There's a lot of people in the world today that are hungry, they're not eating, and how could we bring about a change with the movie, some inspiration in terms of the food?
I think a very important part of this whole series of Holy Kitchens is understanding that scarcity exists everywhere. It could be feeding people. It could be feeding people spiritually or physically. One thing which is a very commonality in human civilization is that we are all hungry. We are all hungry. And these movies connect you to the point where you feel that it's our utmost responsibility, based on the historical significance to the present day of evolution of human mankind, that food is a very important part of our lives. And more sharing leads to more abundance.
I totally agree with you on that. When you talked about Lord Krishna in terms of the food, it's sort of, at the end of the movie, does the viewer get the idea of sharing and spiritual wisdom? What is the wisdom that they'll get from watching the movie afterwards, as well as the sharing? What else will they get?
I think the most important thing which I want to put on the people, of the viewers who watch the movie, is pride. I'm proud to be the part of this chain. I'm proud to be part of this circle of mankind. I think that's one of the most important messages in the movies. And it continues throughout the series, that this is an important part of collectiveness.
I definitely agree with you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And when can the viewers see your screening?
We are screening the movie on May 7th at Tribeca Cinemas at 12:30 in the afternoon. But the movies all these movies are already part of Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Oxford. They become a part of syllabus, that whatever we produce becomes a reference point for next generation to understand faith through food.
And what advice would you give to new filmmakers who are out there who want to come out into the business and create something?
I'm a filmmaker by default, so I'm not one to give anybody any advice. But I feel that the only way to make a movie is to make a movie. There's no other questions for that.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
For the Finding Wisdom show. I'm on the red carpet and I'm here with the director of the film.
I'm Ronnie Bardwaj. I'm the director of Holy Kitchens, from Karma to Nirvana. And the movie is about spirituality and food. It's a film series. It's about, we have 7 movies coming out. The first one was about Sikhism. The one that's premiering this Saturday is about Hinduism. It's about the story of Krishna and how food and spirituality go together in the Hindu religion.
And what inspired you to do this type of movie with food and the spirituality part of it?
Well, it originally came from Vikas Khanna. It was his concept. His passion was always food. You know, he grew up learning from his grandmother, you know, to always give back and always to cherish humanity and help one another. So he wanted to share it with the world. So he came up with the idea for the series and he brought me on board as the director for it. And I was more than glad to help out.
And what was that experience like, being a director on this film?
It was absolutely amazing. You know, it's one thing to actually read about things such as, you know, humanity and people helping one another. It's also another thing to actually experience it and travel the world and see it firsthand. And it was quite an experience.
I bet it was. Sounds very exciting. What is the movie you said it was about food and spirituality, and then you said there was another movie about Sikhism. Can you tell me a little bit about the movie about Sikhism?
Well, that was the first one in the series of Holy Kitchens. It's called True Business. It's about how in Sikhism, the Langar, how all around the world you can go to any Sikh temple, sit for the prayer service, and then afterwards get served food for absolutely free. And it's all about seva, which is, you know, helping one another and actually serving one another and doing it from just the goodness of your heart. So it was a great way to start off the series.
Would you say you're very spiritual?
I would consider myself somewhat spiritual. I'm not, you know, super spiritual, but you know, you slowly builds up as soon as you can, as while we were going through the series.
If you were to help someone out there and give them words of wisdom, some pearls, what would you tell them?
You know, just follow your passion, help others out, go out there and, you know, whatever you want to do, just give it 110%. You know, that's what Vikas taught me. That's what I learned from traveling the world, and, you know, I saw it firsthand from people all around the world.
That's very great advice. I'm so happy. When are you going to be showing us this documentary? When is it going to be played?
It's going to be played May 7th is the premiere at the Tribeca Theater, and it's at 12:30 p.m.
12:30 p.m. at the Tribeca Theater? And what time?
It's going to be at noon. Noon is one.
Noon? Okay, you're on the Finding Wisdom show. Do you want to give us any do you want to say anything to us, to Finding Wisdom, words for our viewers in terms of if they want to take the path that you did and they're creative and they want trying to find or pursue their career and being a minority and getting out there? Do you have any advice on that too?
The best thing to do is just go out there, give it 110%. You know, if you want to make a movie, just do it. You know, my original career path wasn't actually film. You know, I landed it through Vikas, and then, you know, we just went out there, tried as hard as we can, and just follow your dreams and it'll come through.
And what was your original plan?
Well, originally I was actually going to go to medical school. Yeah, but I've always had a passion for film and photography, and then I continued going through with it, and now it landed me here. So.
That's great. I can't wait to see what else you have in store for us. What do you have any projects after this? What do you have?
Well, we are in pre-production right now for in the series of Holy Kitchens. We're going to do the Wheel of Dharma, which is about Buddhism. That's in pre-production right now. We're in post-production for a 5 to 10 minute long video movie called The Moon of Eid about Islam, and currently I'm working on a side project in the Holy Kitchens series about the New York Rescue Mission. That's going to be a 15-minute long film, completely separate from Holy Kitchens, about Vikas's first Christmas here. And the New York Rescue Mission is actually a soup kitchen down on Canal Street, and it's a story about the homeless people there, the people that actually, you know, work there, and try to help get people back to, you know, society.
That is fantastic. Can't wait to see what happens with that. So you are a true humanitarian.
You know, I consider myself to be, try to do as, you know, good for everyone.